Oh my. Oh my goodness. Oh, trying to reconnect. Oh dear. Hi. Hello, hello. Welcome to Magic and Meaning with MoJo Medium. That's me. I'll be your hostess for the next 15, 20, 30 minutes. I don't know. We never know, do we? Now, on if you're watching me live on Facebook or in the replay on Facebook, it is evening at the beach. And if you're watching me on YouTube, it is daytime at the beach. So, welcome either way. If you're watching me in the replay or live, I welcome you and I'm glad to see you. Yes, I do run both at once. And someday I'll probably make it so that, I'm just looking in one direction. But for right now, we've got what we've got. And that's good because I've got lots of stuff to tell you. I'm delighted to see you as usual. I am MoJo Medium, and that means that I am a manifestation genius. I'm also a groovy life coach, your spirituality mentor, and oh, yeah, I'm also a psychic medium. That means I talk to dead people. So I've got a couple of announcements to tell you before we do anything else. First of all, I want you to know that I have a Mighty MoJo Club open house coming up next week. I want to be sure you check it out at mojomedium.com. It's right there on the homepage. Can't miss it. It's free. All you have to do is RSVP. All the details are there. So join the Mighty MoJo Club open house next week. I really, really think you're going to love it. And yes, we are going to have door prizes. You don't have to be present to win, but you do have to RSVP. Okay. Mojomedium.com. Got it? Good. Now, another thing that I want to tell you about is that when you subscribe to my emails right now, again on mojomedium.com, it'll say free ebook, where it says free ebook. You will get this gorgeous free ebook, and it is called MoJo's Manifestation Goddesses. Now, as I mentioned, I am a manifestation genius, right? Manifestation means creating what you want, love, and enjoy in your life instead of settling for the same old dookie. And the same old dookie is the name of my 70s tribute band. All right. So, by the way, I have some alter egos that I sometimes put on Instagram, and I have a new one. And you'll just have to tune in and see. Her name is Chunky Divine. So it's a long story, but that's not part of our announcements. So when you sign up for my free newsletters, you get a free ebook. It's called MoJo's Manifestation Goddesses. Manifestation is about creating what you want, love, and enjoy in your life. Correct? That's where we stopped. That's where we left off. And this ebook, I'm really proud of it, and I think you will love it. It is about goddesses to help you manifest, and also a little bit about goddesses in general and how you can tap into goddess energy for whatever it is that you're working on or trying to achieve. So it's a pretty cool thing. And I just added an index at the end. And so it makes it easier for you to find what you're looking for because the goddesses are just listed in alphabetical order. So I took all of the topics that they're goddesses of, put them into a simple index, and made it beautiful. So I hope you'll go over to mojomedium.com and sign up for that. Now, if you're already on my email list, I will be sending out a fresh copy of that to everybody on the email list. Okay. So don't worry about that. If you, that includes if you RSVP to the Mighty MoJo Club open house. What is the Mighty MoJo Club? We're still in announcements here. Just give me another minute or two. The Mighty MoJo Club is an online community where the woo-woo people meet, share, learn, grow, create, and become. Oh, what? So I am your leader there. Take me to your leader. I am your spirituality mentor, and that's what I do for the Mighty MoJo Club. But everybody in there is at some place, some level of their spiritual awakening and spiritual path. So if you think that you are not psychic, for example, that doesn't mean you don't belong. You do belong. It doesn't matter where you are on your spiritual path. You are welcome and you belong in the Mighty MoJo Club by what you learn there. We do good stuff. We do good trainings and get-togethers and angel card readings every week and all kinds of stuff. So I hope you'll tune in to is free, but you do have to RSVP. Do I have any other announcements? I don't think so. I just got back from vacation. It wasn't really a planned vacation. It was a planned get together. The first time my mom and my younger daughter, my sister and her husband and their two daughters had all gotten together in since February 15th 2020. So, 14 months later, it was really great to be together. It's just great to be together. And we didn't even really do anything. My sister lives in St. Louis, and we went there. And St. Louis it looks like a really good city, an interesting city, lots of stuff to do. But we didn't really do much because, a lot of stuff still locked down and whatever. And we just kind of took it easy. I did get a new piercing I'm pretty excited about. I took my niece who just turned 18 to get a piercing in her cartilage, and then while we were there, my daughter and I also got another piercing. So I got this one right below the one that I got in St. Thomas when I went on the cruise with my dad and sister in 2019. That was the year that that was my dad's last year. And so he took us on a cruise because he wanted to go on one more cruise before the end of his life. And so while we were in St. Thomas, I call it the trip of a death time. Yeah, that's because that's the kind of gallows humor we have in my family, the trip of a death time. So I got a piercing in St. Thomas, and I got another one in St. Louis when we were there this past weekend. And so I decided it seems like if I go on vacation anywhere that starts with Saint, I have to get a piercing of some sort. So I don't know. I may have to, I may have run out of space on my ears, and I don't want to pierce anything else. So we'll see how it goes. St. Petersburg, Florida, St. Petersburg, Russia, St. Bart's, St. Martin, St. Martin. I have to get two piercings there. St. Lucia. What else have you got? Come up with some saint cities for me so I can go there and get my ears pierced again and again. Anyway, that was something that we did. And the thing is that we were there for 5 days. We got there kind of early Thursday and came back kind of late Monday. And we just didn't do much. We just spent time together. There was no working, there was no touring and, oh, have to be there at a certain time and to do this and take advantage of that. It was just relaxing in the bosom of my family. My husband wasn't there, my older daughter and her family weren't there, but it was just a wonderful, good family time. And I cannot tell you how it restoreth my soul. Maybe you have the same kind of feelings with your family, or if you don't, you might be able to do that soon with some close friends where you will feel like you're in the bosom of your family. Let's see here. My niece said that one of her professors used to say, the bosom. Yes, in the bosom of your family. The bosom. So I don't know. I just think bosom is a funny word. All right, let's get to today's topic. I have rambled on for far too long, and I really want to talk to you about what do you want to be when you grow up. Now, this is something that I have coached a lot of clients on, and I've come up with a sort of a questionnaire for you to fill out for yourself. And so I'm going to give that to you right now. I'm going to tell you what's on the questionnaire. It's a great thing to write these questions down and then take some time to meditate on them, journal on them, concentrate on what these things mean to you, okay? And why do you want to know what you want to be when you grow up? Well, I'm really talking about what your passion is, finding your mojo. Your mojo is the word that means your essence and your luck and what makes you who you are. And when you find your mojo and use your gifts in service to others, for money or not, then you will love your life. Promise. That's how I did it. That's how I'm here. That's how I'm doing what I love. That's how I figured out what my talents were. Sometime in my early 30s, I started wondering, am I using my talents like I should? I mean, like I grew up believing that, and I've since made it a tenet of my beliefs that my goal is to use my gifts in service to others every day. That's my everyday goal. Use my gifts in service to others. And like I said, for money or not, you can have a day job, and then you can have your side wiggle. And your side wiggle is where you use your gifts. And maybe you get paid for it, maybe you don't. And I say that because so many of us are artists of one kind or another, whether it's the visual arts, the performing arts. What would you call writing? I'm a writer. That's the arts. I don't know. Literature, I guess. Visual and performing arts and literature. I don't know. If you're a painter, or if you like to crochet, maybe that's where you set up a shop on Etsy, or you go to art fairs and sell your wares. But when you are creating with your gifts, whatever you're doing with your gifts, and you don't have to be in the creative, performing, visual, or writing arts, literature arts, whatever your gifts are, using them in service to others feels good. So they are served and you feel great because you get to do what you do. Now, I do recommend getting paid for doing what you love. But sometimes it's kind of tricky because you have to work on the worthiness, which is another topic. Don't have time today. Let's get to the what do you want to be when you grow up questionnaire. All right. You want to write these down, and we'll talk a little bit about them as we go. So, first things first is go way back in the Wayback Machine, right? Go back in the Wayback Machine to your childhood. So, before age 11 or 12, which is about the age of awareness for most of us. So, before that, go back as far as you can, okay? And write down the answers to these questions. Here's number one. You ready? What did you love doing when you were a kid, when you were a little kid, before you turned 11 or 12 or 13 years old? What did you love doing? What did you love doing? I mean, it could be anything. It could be, building houses out of the things that you find outside, sticks and twigs and grass, and, weaving things together and making a mat and a shade for the window. And what did you like doing? And it doesn't have to be anything outside. What did you like to do? Maybe you like to play Army Men. Maybe you like to play board games. Maybe you liked playing teacher. Maybe you liked going to school. I loved going to school. That's something that definitely is part of this. Did you like school? Did you not like school? Okay, so once you get some ideas about what you used to play and what you enjoyed playing, what you enjoyed the most, what did your mom have to call you away from? Um, I was very fortunate to have the kind of mom who showed me how to do things so that I could increase my play. And when I started writing, which was actually before I could write, I would dictate stories to my mom. But she taught me how to take some notebook paper and put construction paper and fold it like that and staple it down the binding, and you had a little book and you could write your story in your little book. So that's what I did. Sometimes I illustrated them too, but I'm not very good at that. So what did you love to do? What did your mom have to call you 2 or 3 times for dinner? And it could very well have been something outside. Let's go to question number 2 about your childhood. What was your favorite subject in school? Now, that may have been, a lot of people say PE, recess, lunch. That's fine. What was your favorite? Whatever it was that you liked most about school, even if you didn't like it. Personally, as I said, I was a goody two shoes. I liked school. I liked learning. I still love learning. If you're not a lifelong learner, learn to be. Okay. Read, watch informative videos and tutorials, get into discussion groups, go on Quora. Quora is a fantastic source. Quora, like the plural of quorum, Quora.com. It is a question and answer site, and you can go on there and say, hey, what does it mean if somebody liked recess best? And somebody will answer you. It's pretty cool. So Quora is good. All right. So what was your favorite subject in school? Write that down. And it's okay if you have more than one. Okay. Now then, who were your heroes Who were your heroes? And of course, you may have had an assignment to write an essay about who your hero is. Do you remember doing something like that? Who were your heroes? And it can be a parent, it can be a relative, a friend, it can be a teacher or a preacher or somebody you read about. It could be a sports figure, a fictional character, or a true life celebrity or famous writer or famous archaeologist, whoever it was that you admired and wanted to learn more about. Who were your heroes? Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a good one. Who did you have models of or books of or comic books of? Who did you have? Who were your heroes? And then the next big question with that one is why? Now, one time I was teaching this and I was talking about examples, like I just gave you, of who your heroes were and why. And I remembered my fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Gibson, was a wonderful teacher. And she was just one of my favorite people. I mean, how many people do you know besides me who can remember all their teachers? I mean, it's pretty rare to remember your teachers, but you especially remember the good ones, right? And Mrs. Gibson was just wonderful. I loved her so much. And she loved me, and I'm going to sneeze. Oh, you know what? From a metaphysical and medium point of view, that sneeze could have been Mrs. Gibson saying hello, because there's nothing else here that would just suddenly come up and bother me. Okay, so hi, Mrs. Gibson. I love you too. Anyway, why was she my hero? She was one of my heroes. Why? And it just popped out of my mouth because she was smart and she was kind. And I realized I wanted to be smart and kind. And I am. I became smart and kind. Well, I guess I started out smart, but I became smart and kind like Mrs. Gibson. So that's something to look at. Why are your heroes? Why were your heroes your heroes? What did that tell you about life and what you wanted to be? What did you want to emulate about those heroes? Okay, let's see here. We've covered what you wanted to do, favorite subject in school, heroes, and why. The last question for your childhood under 11, 12, 13 years old is what did you want to be when you grew up? Now, I have a lot of clients who either never wanted to be anything in particular or who can't remember what they wanted to be. Sometimes somebody will tell me, well, I told people that I wanted to be, an astronaut, but that really didn't matter to me. That's true. I mean, some children really do that. We get an idea of what's expected of us. If your parents were both doctors and somebody asked you what you wanted to be, you better say doctor, right? I mean, it's kind of like that. Although a lot of actors say they discourage their children from going into show business because it's so tough. So, on the other hand, if your parents were doctors and you didn't become a doctor, you didn't want to, what does that do for you? Or maybe that really shaped what you wanted to be and what you became or what you still want to become because that was the last thing you wanted to do. So I should add that question to the questionnaire. Like, what was the last thing you would ever choose to be? Like my mom didn't want me to be a teacher because she didn't enjoy teaching. I love teaching, especially adults, especially when I get face-to-face time and I can see when your face shows me that you've got it, that you've got something good and important and helpful for your life. Okay, moving along. As you get a little older, where are you headed? Rehearsal. Oh, have fun. That's my daughter leaving for rehearsal. She's in a play. So, where were we? Yes. So get into your teen years and ask the same questions, especially, well, all of the same questions. If they're any different from your childhood. Okay, so we're talking about the teen years and through school, however far you went through school, high school, some college, professional, grad school, whatever. So during those years, what was the thing that you loved doing? So when I was a kid, I loved writing, singing, and performing, but much more so as I got older. I started getting really serious about writing and performing. And unfortunately, I was very much discouraged from doing those things. because you can't make any money and you won't be happy. Okay, I don't know if you heard that, but I heard that. All right, so what did you love to do? What was your favorite subject in school? Who were your heroes and why? And that other one that escapes me at the moment. All right, when you put all those answers together, you should see a common theme. There should be something in there, and dig, because like I said about Mrs. Gibson, what was it that why was she my hero? What was it that I admired so much about her? She was smart and she was kind. I can think about another teacher or seven who were that way too. And there was one that I really didn't appreciate nearly enough. She taught American history in ninth grade. She was a wonderful teacher. I had known her all my life because I grew up in a small town, and her son was my age, and we were longtime friends. So I knew her personally, but the way that she taught was just wonderful. It was so engaging, and I really didn't like history. But with history, with anything you teach, but especially with history, you have to make history come alive for the students or they will not care. Nobody likes memorizing dates and just by rote, yeah, Norman Conquest, 1066, okay. It's just boring. But if you teach them about the people who lived in those times, they can relate to it and it becomes very relatable for them. And that's what Mrs. Cryer did. She was a wonderful teacher and she was kind of funny. She made some jokes about things, just made it really enjoyable for the students. And I had a classmate who he and I just really enjoyed her class a lot. And he actually grew up to get a doctorate in history. And I'm sure that she had something to do with that. So, moving into your adulthood, this is what I was talking about when I was in my early 30s. I started going, what are my gifts and how do I use them in service to others? I had a career in facilities management, property management, which I loved and I was very good at. But I just had this nagging feeling that I was not using the most destinied, the most fated gifts that I had to use in service to others. Now, I'll tell you about a thing about talent, gifts, MoJo, whatever that is, that thing that you have that's special and unique to you, and it's supposed to be used in service to others. When you think about what you're good at, like I was good at facilities management, I was a good manager, I was a good boss, I was good with budgets and accounting, I was good with purchasing, I was good at it, and I enjoyed it. Project management, all kinds of stuff. But I just had this nagging feeling this wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. And that's when I started looking at my childhood. What did I love? What am I supposed to be doing? What's the destiny? And here's the thing. If you determine, let's say that you always wanted to be a dentist and you were very interested in dentistry and you wound up becoming a dentist, well, maybe that really is your gift to share in service to others, right? There are gifts that we have that are meant to be shared, and there are gifts we have that are not necessarily meant to be shared. I don't want you to think that, wow, I have a real talent for, I don't know, accounting. That's my favorite example because I have a talent for accounting. If I had to do accounting every day, I would run away. I would run screaming into the night. I don't really care for it. It is a useful skill. I'm good at it. And it is great that I can read financial statements and I can review my own taxes that my CPA husband does for me or for us. And I can look at it and I know what it says. I know what it means. I know if there's a glaring error. Sometimes I find small errors as well. So that is a useful gift that I have. And it's a skill too, because obviously I had to learn it, but I have a knack for it. I don't enjoy doing it all the time. Maybe you do. Maybe you're great at math and you have a real knack for accounting. Maybe you're a CPA. Fantastic. Maybe you've always wanted to do that all day long. Go and do it. Why aren't you doing it? If you're an AP clerk and you really want to be a CPA, go back to school and be a CPA. Do it. I took my facilities management career And no, I didn't flush it down the toilet. But I took that career, and when I was laid off from the job that I loved, which thank goodness that happened because really I was just stagnating that last year and a half that I was in that job. I didn't have any projects and I wasn't growing. And I really, I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. So when I got laid off one morning after a few weeks of unemployment, I woke up with an idea. Oh, I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to take the tasks that I enjoyed and hold on, my phone was doing something weird. Um, take the task that I really enjoyed and what am I trying to say? Sorry, that I got so distracted by that thing. Take the task that I really enjoyed, and that was my menu of services. And I started my own business. And within a few weeks, I had my first contract, and it just took off. Now then, after a while, I did really well for quite a while. And then at some point, the market shifted and I didn't know what to do. And the business sort of dropped off and I went back and took a job. But I knew that job was not forever. I was extremely unhappy there, not because of the people, but the job itself. It was not, I knew I was in the wrong place. Do you feel like you're in the wrong place? Have you ever felt that way? Like your job is not where you belong? You ever have that sort of spiritual level nagging feeling that this is not where I'm supposed to be? That's why we're talking. So when you see that common thread in those answers that you write down and you know what you love doing, that's when you can start applying those gifts, because that's what they are, to something that you will do in service to others. Hi, Donna. Welcome. Hi, Richard. So back to the big finish, right? This is the big finish. So when you are aware of those gifts, I don't think I finished my point about accounting. There are gifts you have that you don't have to share. Okay, just because you're good at something, you don't have to share it. Okay, the ones that you're good at and love doing, those are the ones you can share if you want to. There's no divine um, impetus to do these things. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do any of it. But if you want to be happy, you can take some tips from what I'm telling you here. The other part of that is keep in mind that your gifts and talents mean there are things that you are good at that other people aren't. And it's very, very common for us to think that whatever we're good at, that's easy for us, is easy for other people too. And it's just not so. I've been told this all my life about writing, and I go, oh, yeah, there are some people who blow it off. People in the family who are like, well, of course you're a good writer, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So how do I use writing in service to others? Oh, I created a brand new ebook for you all about the manifestation goddesses, plus a jillion other things that I've written. And I'm working on my novel and my personal essays and, all of that. So keep that in mind when you are determining what your talents are. It's very important to recognize that a talent, by definition, is something that you find relatively easy and fun to do that other people find difficult. And you may not even know when you write this thing down and you go, well, I'm good at this, I'm good at that. You may not even know that it's not easy for other people. I'll tell you what, two of my favorite things are sitting around and talking and performing or making presentations and giving talks and speeches and that sort of thing. Guess what I do all day? I sit around and visit. I give readings and talk to people and talk to their dead people. So I get to converse with dead people as well. Sit around and talk to people, give advice. And then I also give presentations and teach magic classes and all kinds of things. So this is where you want to be. You want to be where you belong, where everybody knows your name. You do belong in the Mighty Mojo Club. Remember, we've got the open house next week. Go to mojomedium.com and sign up for that, RSVP. And also sign up for the free ebook about the goddesses. It is gorgeous. Like I said, it's gorgeous. It's like butter. All right. that is it from me. I remain Mojo, your friend, Mojo Medium, your favorite know-it-all, your manifestation genius and spirituality mentor. Thank you so much. Okay, Donna, I look forward to talking to you soon, and I look forward to seeing you again soon as well. Thank you so much. I'm going to, where do I end it? How do I end it? Okay, bye.